What's going on, everybody? I'm back with the last video of 2022. So this has been a wild year. There's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but I'm closing out the year in a pretty decent place, and this is going to be the last video of the year, but the first week, even possibly even the first day of 2023, I'm going to be dropping a manga tour video. So as you can see, the shelves behind me have been completely rearranged. I've got a bunch of new stuff. I've been building a collection for a pretty long time, and so I'm going to walk you through everything that's behind me and then some stuff that I have on the other side of the room, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. There's like just about over 500 volumes of manga altogether that are going to be a part of that video. But today, that's not what we're here for. This is the last video of the year, and I said I was going to close this year out with a why you should read. And this is a hefty, hefty book, but I think it's an incredible read, and I definitely think it's something that should be consumed. And maybe you'll have enough time before the end of the year to pick it up and read through it, because hopefully you're a part of the people that have a week off or a couple weeks off, depending on if you're in school or if you're taking vacation, going to go meet some family, going to go have some dinner with people. If not, if you're just going to chill by yourself, that's fine too. If you don't have any plans to do anything for the holidays, depending on what you celebrate or what you don't celebrate, each thing for each person. I'm not here to judge. Festivus for the rest of us. So, so this is something I'm really excited to talk about. This is a series by a creator that I have not read anything by yet. Well, actually, I did. I finished this series, and then I started reading another one that he also did called Suicide Club. I'm reading it in Spanish because it is not available in English. This is the first story that I've read by this creator, but I have fallen madly in love. So we're going to talk about this thing. The Music of Marie. The point of these, whenever I do a why you should read, is that I want to convince you to read a series. Perhaps with an older one such as The Music of Marie, you've already taken this journey, or maybe you've never even heard of this story before. It was officially published in English in 2022 by One Piece Books, more than 20 years after its initial Japanese serialization between 2000 and 2001 as Marie no Kanaderu Ongaku. I think it's close to the English translation title, Marie no translating to Marie's, and Kanaderu being to play an instrument or to have fun, and Ongaku being the Japanese word for music. This story was a triumph, and thereby I don't have a single complaint. So now that I've consumed it and cherish it as one of the best manga I've ever read until now, let's review it. There will be light and mild spoilers throughout this video, but I will not tell you how it ends or what becomes of the characters contained within. I went into the story for the most part blind, because I like to develop my thoughts on a series based on what I'm seeing firsthand instead of what I've heard. I only knew the mangaka for 3 previous manga series he had worked on, including Suicide Club, No Longer Human, which is an adaptation of the acclaimed Osamu Dazai novel by the same name, and Lychee Light Club. So far, this is the only manga I've read to completion by Osamaru Furuya, but I do have those others I mentioned in my collection, waiting to be consumed. This is a prolific writer with tons of work already under his belt, and sadly it doesn't seem as though all of it is available in English. I've seen it in French, Italian, Polish, and even Spanish. Luckily, The Music of Marie is in English, and after reading through its pages, I want to recommend the story to anyone who hasn't read it. The Music of Marie tells the story of 2 young people, Kai and Pipi, and the world in which they live, overseen by a being in the sky called Marie. Marie plays a subtle, gentle music that wafts through the air, and though the people of this world are deaf to the song, it is all around them, ubiquitously, keeping them safe, keeping them content. There are several moving parts throughout this tale, but we won't go into them as to not get deep into spoilers. However, I do want to talk about some of the elements present here that I think are worthy of mention. The Music of Marie is a long story It is a complete tale, and it is a beautifully written and stunning one at that. It matches genres exceptionally well in a manner that I don't think many other stories could pull off to this level. This is an exquisite work of fiction, bringing together elements of steampunk and fantasy, even romance and lust, along with anti-war sentiments. There is even a bit of Tolkien in there, with a huge Middle-earth-like map in the middle of the manga. The precise attention to detail that has gone into this story is unfathomable. To stand apart in a sea of fellow writers is quite a feat unto itself, but to do so and make a flourishing world with lived-in scenery and characters that feel human, not cardboard cutouts, it is something to be lauded. There are countries outside Pirito, the one in which Pipi and Kai live. These countries have their own nuanced religions and belief structures. They dress appropriately to their cultures and customs. At no point in time does it feel like Osamaru Furuya is making fun of any of these people or their beliefs. Everything from religion to customs and emotions, self-awareness is taken seriously. Even sexual exploration as an element that is present in this story. Matrimonial dances and offerings of gifts are made to a girl who has just turned 18 by hopeful suitors. Whenever I opened the pages of this manga, I felt wholly absorbed, transported to this world, and felt surrounded by these people and their wonderful utopia. What it also reminded me of is the work of Hayao Miyazaki, Nausicaa, to be exact. If you've seen that film and read this story, I think you will draw the same parallels. This is passion at its purest form. What it also brought to mind is Daisuke Igarashi's Witches. I did a Why You Should Read about it months ago, and that collection of stories has a similar feel to the music of Marie. There is definitely a sense of desire to end wars, to find peace, and live outside of hate and misery. Another story that this reminds me of is the graphic novel by American comic book artist Pharrell Dalrymple, The Wrenchies, which I may eventually do a video on as well. The Wrenchies is about a group of kids that goes on an adventure to rescue a guy who has been absorbed into a diabolic sort of contraption, and he's being used by evil beings to commit the world to darkness. He's psychic, and his power is being sucked out of him, leaving him a shell of a man. That is a story with a great deal of imagination as well, that I don't know if a lot of people have already read. And if I can at all help to bring more people together with more obscure books, manga, and comics, I'm 100% here for it. All of the tales I've mentioned, from the music of Marie to Nausicaa and the Wrenchies, share one thing in common. They're fantastical and brilliant, original stories. The music of Marie is one of the most imaginative mangas I've ever read. The world building is incredible. I would go as far as to call it Osamaru Furuya's masterwork, his magnum opus, though I'd be saying it without having read all his other works yet, thus making that claim unfair. For now, however, I will stand by it. If you disagree, please let me know what you believe to be his masterwork, and I'll be sure to make that my next work of his to read, assuming it's available in English. You know, it's kind of funny. In one fell swoop, I ended up with just like a bunch of manga by Osamaru Furuya. This is the first one that I got my hands on, and I ended up getting my hands on the other ones because I think it was No Longer Human came back into stock or something as like a complete omnibus, because this was initially released, I think, in parts. Junji Ito actually did it as well. Junji Ito has a No Longer Human manga that he did, and I think Junji Ito's is like way bigger than Osamaru Furuya's. And I'm gonna get Ito's as well, just because like I'm trying to do a big like Junji Ito video that I've mentioned a bunch of times, and I'm actually working towards getting that video done, because I want to drop it in 23. I want to stop saying that I'm gonna drop it and actually drop it. And this is another one that he also did, Furuya, or Samaru Furuya. This is Lychee Light Club. That I've known about this for a really long time. Like this was out when I was like a teenager. I was probably written long before that, but I mean, that's when I first heard about it. And this is one that I also really want to read because it's really weird, and just everything going on in it, it's like just looks really random. And so, and then I have Suicide Club. This is in Spanish. It's not available in English. I think it's available in like and like French and just like random languages, every like language but English. I don't know why it was never released in English, but there's also a lot of random manga by this dude that was available in like other languages, and like it seems to be like in every other language but English. And this is also just this year released in English. This came out in like 2000 initially, and then I think it finished its run in like 2001 and was releasing in a local, Japanese magazine, every like a weekly Japanese magazine. And this thing is an absolute masterclass, in writing, and it is to me it's a masterwork. I haven't read the other stuff. I haven't read everything else that he's created, obviously, since not all of it is in English, and this is the only one that I could, find in Spanish. He's got other ones that I think are in Spanish, but they're like much more difficult to come by. There's one that's like the Children's War or something, and I'll put a picture of it up here, so you know what I'm talking about, which looks really good, and it looks in a sense similar to the music of Marie, and I think has maybe like similar themes to the music of Marie. And it's definitely something that I really want to read because I like the way the art looks, and it looks really like medieval, like really like kind of ancient times, like knights and whatever. And it looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I finished this thing, and I mean, even like in the middle of it, like it just almost as soon as I started reading it, I already knew that I wanted to do a video about it. I already knew this is gonna be. I was debating between like, this is either going to be my first video of 22 or it's going to be my last video of, my first video of 23, or it's going to be my last video of 22. And I decided to do it as my last video of 22 because I have just like a plethora of things that I have planned for 23, like a lot of ideas, and I didn't want to sit on it forever, because like the first video I wanted to drop for next year is the tour video. I want to show you guys my manga and go through it and, say a bunch of stuff about it. And I just kind of figured we'd close the year out with this, and I think it's a good manga to close the year out. Close it out with a nice why you should read, and then I'll drop a video like January 1st or something. That's what I'm hoping for, to drop it like January 1st. Drop the tour video, and then we'll go from there, and we'll see how often I drop videos. But I think going forward into 22, I'm probably not going to be dropping a video a week anymore. It's probably more than likely going to end up being a video every couple of weeks. I've had a lot of like just personal stuff going on. I think it's probably for the best if I just kind of chill a little bit. I'm not closing the channel out. Obviously, I'm still going to be around. I still, like I said, I still have a lot of video ideas planned for this channel. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do, and I want to keep expanding and growing and whatnot. And I feel like, too, like if I keep doing a video a week, I'm going to eventually like burn out. I'm going to burn out the channel. I'm going to burn out people watching, because I feel like after a while you just get tired of seeing me. So I feel like it's better, if I just kind of step it back a little bit and like maybe drop a video every couple of weeks. That way it's like a nice surprise, when I do drop a video, and it'll give me more time to read more manga, to like do bigger videos and include more manga in the videos that I do, instead of, just doing like let's talk about all the time just to get videos out, because I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to just like get videos out. I want to like spend time on videos and really work through them. And like it took me 2 weeks to read this, so the fact, that it took me like 2 weeks to read this, and I haven't dropped a video in like the 2 weeks. I haven't recorded a new video in the 2 weeks. I had stuff that like I'd had, in storage or whatever, like that I kind of piled up. And because of that, I was able to drop videos, pretty much to keep it going. Like pretty much every single week I've had a video out. But yeah, going forward, it's not going to be like that anymore. It's probably going to be every couple of weeks that I drop a video, and definitely going to be putting more effort altogether into everything that I do with this channel. And this has been going for a long time now. We've been doing this for like a year and a half, I think. And yeah, like there's a lot of stuff I have planned. I really want to do a video about Miyaruko-chan. I'm going to be doing a why you should read Miyaruko-chan video next year, and then I want to keep doing the I've been reading videos. Like I'm going to do more of those. Like I've been reading romance manga video. I'm going to be doing one about lewd manga. I've been reading lewd manga, and then I'm going to do like a whole different bunch of them about different specific manga types. And yeah, that's a future plan that I have for the channel, and just tons of other stuff that I'm going to be doing that I'm not going to go into right now, just to keep it kind of a surprise. But I hope you'll stick around with me. Sub to the channel if you want to. I would greatly appreciate it. We're like at 300 subs, which is pretty wild. I never imagined this channel would get this big. It's not like a huge channel or anything, but the fact that, this channel started with so few people, that I remember, just sitting at like 60 subs and thinking like, holy shit, dude, I never thought anybody would actually sub to me. And then, when I hit my first 100, it was like a milestone to me, even though it's only like 100 subs, but it just felt like such a milestone to hit 100 subs. And then now we're at 300, and it's just, I'm excited to see, where we'll go from here, and what the future holds for the channel and for myself. And I hope you'll all stick around with me, and that you've enjoyed this wild journey as much as I've enjoyed, presenting manga for you all and having conversations with you all. And we'll see each other again in 23. And yeah, I've got plenty of stuff planned for 23. So I hope that you all have a fantastic new year. I hope that everything that is going on in your life is for the best, and that you are in a good place right now. Please take care of yourselves. We will see each other again in 2023.
By the hands of God, I stand as a wrench between your wheeling cog. Fastening my belt, bracing myself to withstand against all odds. Himself shadow runners, battle ready, murder dogs. Rip the skin off your horses, triumph and smash the sorceress. Lethal forces, the failure of your ambitions is more painful than divorces. Smash its own piece on the doorway, when the door hits, that's it. Call it quits, zipped up in plastic, cremated, melted like elastic. Dreams don't mean shit, in this life they don't exist.